Hello, YouTubers and all those who happen to watch. Okay, so as you guys can tell, I got some Super Nintendo games stacked up here. Now, I'm going to be, of course, showing these off for my Super Nintendo collection. So, people are probably going to ask, well, where's your Super Famicom games? I don't count those in this one because of the fact that, yeah, don't have too many. No, not really important. So, alright. First game I'm going to show off here is Wanderers from Wise 3. Or Eves, or whatever the perfectionists like to call the game. I call it Wise because it says YS. Simple. Saying Eves. Eves. But, yeah. This right here is downgraded to my personal opinion being the worst version of these Wonders from Y series. The Sega Genesis, hands down, the controls, the gameplay, the graphics, everything is better than this. And probably the TurboGrafx CD version and TurboGrafx or wherever else it got ported on. So, I normally don't disagree with the Happy Console Gamer, some of his reviews. I kind of disagreed with that and said I felt like the Sega Genesis version's a heck of a lot better than this one. Still got it in my collection because it was cheaper, and just the controls on this are some points are extremely glitchy and just a very bad port of the game. Music-wise and everything, it just doesn't hold up to this Genesis version at all. But that's my copy of that. Okay, next game. Pitfall, the Mayan Adventure. It's a pretty good game, it's revived the Pitfall series quite well, I felt. Take these down here. Now, most of these games I collect, I don't collect common games or very common games. I like to collect unique games that are, have a good gameplay value to them. So, alright. Next one is The Great Circus Mystery, which was, of course, produced by Capcom. A really good side-scrolling game, it has a lot of interesting elements, and of course, you take these little backpacks that contribute to the levels, scenery, and everything, and just a game you have to pick up and try out yourself. It's a pretty fun game. Aside from it being Mickey Mouse and all that, people go, oh, it's Mickey Mouse, hell with that game. Just try it. Super Turrican. One of the most challenging running gun type of series games ever produced. There's others out there probably could be just as challenging, but Super Turrican and Turrican series, hands down, is pretty damn hard gaming right there. Next game I just got the most recently was this Twisted Tales of Spike McFang. It's a Zelda over-the-head type of view game. Still got to do gameplay footage of this, so I'm just going to be putting that aside so I can actually remember to do that. Next one, Breath of Fire, needs no introduction. I gotta go through my entire shelf and move the shelf inside the gaming closet. Alright, D-Force. Very interesting concept game. I showed this in the past. You definitely have to check it out for sure. Thunder Spirits. No relation to the god of thunder himself, but, pretty fun game. It's addicting as hell, and, that stands true to being a pretty straightforward shooter. Super Mario World. That's a staple in most people's collections. Still a fun game to this date. Graphics still hold up, it's a timeless game. The sequel to that game, the Super Mario World Yoshi's Island. Didn't pay too much for this at all. I paid like $6, I think, or $8. Didn't pay too much. Congo's Capers. Very challenging game, but it's, addicting as hell. Definitely it's also related to the Joe and Max series as well, so if you notice a lot of the similarities to the sprites, that's basically what it is. Same company too, I believe, published and made it, I think. Super Valis 4. This is a cult classic and one of my favorites too. Also published by a certain company that I, But, pretty fantastic game in itself. Very challenging. Levels are pretty straightforward and, pretty fun. Super Metroid, again, needs no introduction. One of the staples of the system. Very well sought after, too. Not very pricey any as much anymore as it used to be, but still a good game to pick up for your collection. Even if you're not a heavy fan, you might have a friend that want to come over and, make some new friends that way. Or remake friends of friends that your friends that are your friends, Secret of Evermore. Had no opinion about that, you noticed. Fatal Fury. ActRaiser, which I think the battery's going to go out in this one, so I'm probably going to have to replace it or something. But, it's a great simulator slash action game, so definitely a great classic in the collection. Sky Blazer. Again, it's a very quick kind of game. It's hard. It's straight up hard. It's, almost up to the difficulty of being next to Super Ghouls and Ghosts, but Ghouls and Ghosts is just brutally hard. A classic in my heart, Super James Pond, which is James Pond 2 in Genesis version. This is a X rental, which I gotta get rid of that. But, again, it's a pretty good game. This game needs an introduction. I got this for like $3 back in the day. Super Castlevania 4, which goes nicely along with my other 3 titles. Castlevania 1, Castlevania 2, Castlevania 3, and Castlevania 4. One of my personal favorites of Super Nintendo. Next one here is Lagoon. Sort of like Eves in a sense, and sort of like Zelda as well. It's an interesting fusion and some combinations of gameplay. It's something you have to get your head around to honestly play it through. So it's a cult classic again. It's one of those games I like too. Just obviously haven't got too far and beat the game as much yet. Earth Defense Force. Jaleco. Pretty good company for most of their Super Nintendo and shooter games, as well as their side-scrollers out there. This game gets a little bit kicked in the dirt, kicked in its face, but it honestly is not a bad game. Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures. This game, of course, saves itself from the rest of the games that came out for the Sega Genesis, Nintendo Arcade, Atari. This game is, I call it the gem of the entire series of Indiana Jones games. Honestly a very good game. You just got to get around some of the difficulty in some of the stages, and it straight up plays as a good game. The next title needs also no introduction. Mega Man X. It's a staple in most collections as well if you're a Mega Man X fan. This is the only Mega Man X game I honestly really like out of any of the games that ever got released for Mega Man X. I did not like Mega Man X8. I did not like 7. I can't remember where the hell I put 7, but yeah, this is my only favorite out of the entire X series next to ZX or whatever the hell it's called for the DS. This right here is a pretty fun game in my opinion. Another game that needs no introduction. The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, which is Zelda 3. I own 1, 2, and 3. Bought that back in the day for like $12. Next game, Brain Lord. Again, another one of those cult classics released by Enix. Definitely got to check out some of these games. Again, I only collect games I almost will totally enjoy. Because the Super Nintendo collection, you'll notice, versus my Nintendo collection, I tend to bounce towards games I'm going to enjoy. For an example, for my GameCube collection, I got the Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. That game right there, I like the hell out of it. I don't think it's the best game ever made, but I like the hell out of it because it's playable. If the game's playable, it's most likely going to be in my collection. But let's get back on track here and close out the last 2 games here. Super Ghouls and Ghosts with the most abstract cart for the for Ghouls and Ghosts by Capcom. There wasn't really a lot of effort put behind this cartridge at all, I felt, with the art. Even Capcom USA was kind of like, what the hell are they thinking? Game is hard as hell. I kid you not, guys. This game is extremely hard. I'm not joking to you. I'm not saying it because I'm a noob. I'm being serious. This game is hard. If you master this game, you deserve a cookie. That's all I can tell you. This game's hard. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, which is the USA version of published for the States. Not a lot of people even like this game at all. Quite frankly, I thought it was good, so that's why it's in my collection. Now, that's for all my loose cart games. My 2 box games, which I got these really cheap. One of them sealed, but I opened it up, obviously, because I just want to look at the damn thing. But this right here is a copy of Star Fox. The reason I got this game is because of the fact that nostalgia behind playing this game. When I first experienced it, the 3D graphics and everything, it was just a really fantastic game. Now, if anyone has not seen my video, me showing this off, I'll show it to you again. Don't bother me. Okay. This, of course, came with the booklet, which is in mint condition. Came with those little papers. Came with this poster, which to this date, I'm going to be framing this damn thing because it's an awesome picture. Hold on. This picture is in mint condition, showing off the Master Sword. This picture is in mint condition. I'm going to keep it that way. And, there's the game. Everything was included. They only paid like $8 for this total, including shipping. This is sort of my gem of my boxed games, I believe, next to Kirby's Adventure. I'm very proud of this, having this in my collection at all. It's just one of those type of games you just gotta sit back and go, you are fantastic, sir, and it looks at you and goes, I know. It just has a cockiness to it when it walks, too, and it has that sort of strive when it walks. My oily fingers all over it, too. But, okay, enough time wasted on that one. This one was sealed, so I don't really need to open it. It was F-Zero. This is the greatest choice, Player's Choice Edition. I got this for like $9 free shipping. It's like super mint. It's like, this is like the only NES game I think I have that doesn't have any creases at it at all. This one does. This one doesn't. Like the way they shipped this to me, they shipped it in like an awesome packaging box. Like you can look at that. There's like nothing wrong with that box at all. I'm proud of that box. There's a couple dents in it, but it's really in good condition, which I'm really proud of. But yeah, that's my Super Nintendo collection. And as for me, I'm gonna go take myself in the shower and wash up. So take it easy, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.